Hi, Earth people. I am Chinghiz together with you. Today, February 8, 2022. And our planet Earth and civilization, again I saying that. And this civilization come to level which on which this civilization can be end. And this did civilization itself. And why? Each time saying that, many saying, scientists saying, other sphere specialists saying too. But this continue. It's not about good news, bad news, generally, we know today media, as Elon Musk called them, mainly refusing means that refusing to their duty as needed, and that true. I also saying that, and also mainly this media saying about bad things, you know. But this not only this. Mainstream media acting this forum for mainly distract from reality. And in this case, they can go anyway, many sphere, including repeatedly reporting about some conflict, disasters, no matter small or big, is happening. But however, this happening very good things, movements, very important. Earth people waking up and starting act for stop climate crisis, waking up and acting against corruption, money laundering, means existed current financial system which very dark, evil, satanic, corrupt, and all problem coming from this system is very good, is crucial for Earth people for be survived. And also companies like Tesla and others doing revolution and show to world and these world leaders how this reality, this fantastic but reality, zero emissions cars, and not only cars. Tesla have mega parks, Tesla have Tesla environment, roof for buildings, power wall, all what necessary for be home zero emission and cheaper price totally. If today's home owner or condominium residents paying for energy, water, sanitation, water to all to some quantity of money, but using this based on clean energy, zero emission energy, we're paying less, significant form, less money. It's very good thing happening in the world. And also, again, Elon and team creating fantastic revolution again in space exploration, revolution using technology, space technology, created rockets, super heavy and Starship, which will fly to Mars in coming years. It's very good and crucial thing. And others also doing in this case. But people, we should allow reality as this reality exists. And reality is climate crisis deadly to you, and today's authority refusing act for stop climate crisis, for resolve problem. And this badness, this covering all others. What means Tesla with zero emission and others if world will destroy it? What I say based on scientists, research, and the prognosis, predictions, what's happening, models, and others, not about Tesla, others. Again, all this fantastic, truly revolution job will crack. Because country economy will crack, infrastructure will crack, the disasters, huge amount and huge power full will destroy what on planet Earth will start destroy. And this mapture about carbon dioxide capture and others, this blah, blah, blah. This, of course, bluff. This, of course, greenwashing. Not exist. In some model maybe have, but this so weak, so small, and you not have time, wait decades as for increase that do some forum, and after that we'll try, we'll happy not. You not have time. Who's saying that? First, they're saying planet Earth. Second, they're saying scientists, specialists on this sphere. This is about you, civilization. You shall be survived. For that you shall, should, shall act for be survived. These countries' leaders think they're so powerful. China, United States, China, European Union, oh, they so have capability, opportunity, they potential, all this capability. No problem. And planet Earth saying, yes, of course, and laughing. Means on them laughing. Who take this position? This happening. And media should focus on this. Media means journalists, and journalists respectful profession should be that. And true journalists' job, and their job not only inform people, which news no matter, but importance of this, but also fight, be part of Earth's people and fight these challenges, deadly challenges. Fight. Media should fight, not only inform. Media should have position. Should, shall. It's about you, civilization. Your planet is so small. Again, in my browser photo, I put there this cover photo in browser. In computer, this long time I using photo of John Fitzgerald Kennedy, portrait within White House. But in browser cover photo, I take this photo from Voyager and this pic of planet Earth from Saturn planet. And great words saying by Carl Sagan. But you living in planet and you think you small this, this about your forum, your humanity, physiological capability. Of course, big planet, many nations, regions, happening many things. But these things happening because system, because many of these things bad, evil. This about reality. Your problem, climate crisis, deadly. This was created by system, structure, which ruled the world. And this structure, financial structure, financial system. Because world, monetary world. This system, this. And who own this system, who behind, I saying, and others saying too, they create this crisis. And they create other things, including world wars. Great Depressions, killing your head of states, governments, doing anything, and control it by the financial system, means the lobby schemes, political establishment, and they blocking serious action by political leaders, needed action. They blocked by their lobby schemes. We have all this fact check. One of fresh ExxonMobil in Congress, in Senate, in White House, how they blocked both no serious action, which was showed by Congress for tax big oils, for means pollution to, and etc. Their measures was. They intervene and all good. And Manchin come. Look at Manchin. You think Manchin is freely acting because his view, they fool, and they, why they fool? Because they try fool you. Who they? I think that they schemes, and I see how this lobby from ExxonMobil was act. In Manchin case, not have, or others case, not have. In White House, Joe Biden show position will fight climate crisis, but this in best forum, half of measures. Why half of measures? Again, they are, of course, lobby schemes. Big oil and gas coming by lobby schemes and saying no go immediately to zero emission. This is bad. Go balancing forum, no in one decade, which scientists saying and reality demand, planet Earth demand, for keep rise of temperature of atmosphere under 1.5 degrees Celsius means in one decade, no later than 2035, zero emission, carbon-free economy. You know, they're saying no, 2050 balancing forum, we will do that, donors, election coming, and political establishment or leaders of countries, and they should listen to them too, their interest too, and this deadly threat when they take in this position. And result of their position is we seeing even they mean political leaders of countries, United States, Britain, others, European Union, Germany, Italy, France, Austria, Spain, Netherlands, China, Japan, Australia. No same position, but generally same. Last fact. This fact so satanic, evil, satanic, this correct word. Which fact? COP26, all leaders said, take obligation, we will do that. Okay? And of course, the obligation was half of measures, I mean, even less, and this, of course, failure. Absolutely. Of COP26. But even this obligation, less than half of measures, which demanded by planet Earth, even they refusing to that, doing opposite of this obligation, opposite 180 degrees opposite. This not satanic. They, you know, no reason, absolutely not only they are one reason, of course, and I know that, I saying that, others saying that they are dark money in politics. Why Britain saying taken obligation, same time, hidden forum, same day, maybe in same hour, same minute, okay? Signed license to big oil and gas, giving them license for more drill. Satanic will kill you because they result of their job. Climate crisis. They refusing and try downplay this threat, but you already understand what's happening around the world, and this only beginning, very beginning of avalanche effect, starting of avalanche effect, which will kill you, but beginning in sphere where you not have civilization, not have opportunity, stop climate crisis. They pushing you in this sphere by their blah blah, these political leaders behind them, we know who, and result this. And this actually happened because, again, satanic structure ruled the world. And others fact check. I will come to Ukraine case. Putin, you know, this blah blah, you know. I will come to this. But why Putin Aventura, okay? Aventura, they are blah blah too. They are hybrid forum, you know. No, why such thing happening? It's not only Putin. Putin weak, Putin not have opportunity to all that. Because satanic structure and others fact check. For example, Putin using the European Union buying from Russia more gas, 36%, approximately one third from Russia. Why? Because Bush said Putin have very good man, good, can be trusted, can be, yeah. And same said Schroeder, Berlusconi. And this comes to this sphere when one third from Russia. And now Putin using all hybrid form for restore Russian Empire is opportunity hybrid form. And European Union for some do something for prevent such scenario, start search for another pipeline, gas pipeline. They call that diversification. But they actually not truly doing diversification. They actually again go to Putin structure. Was this forum? Okay, Putin, pipeline, European Union, Putin using this weapon as weapon, and they maneuver again coming to Putin structure. When they know what this means, they knowingly, intentionally doing that. In European Parliament now, before yesterday, hearing about Azerbaijan, who İlham Aliyev dictator, tyrann and killer, and do already revealed fact, multi-billion-dollar money laundering, and additional revealing fact, his very serious crimes is in London, only in London, $700 million, okay, or pound, sorry, totally. This only reveal it, and there are much more still. İlham Aliyev dictator, İlham Aliyev thief, multi-billion-dollar thief. İlham Aliyev killer, İlham Aliyev doing this repression in Azerbaijan against Azerbaijan people and opposition, killing, beating Tartar, this alarming should be, but I think European Commission tried downplay that. At least there dozen was killed by torture by İlham Aliyev order. 3,000 was arrested, was tortured. Many of them was come to disable because this torture. And when European Union start and pass to Parliament Assembly of European Council, start act on Tartar case, İlham Aliyev again another for full, for full world, Europe, European people, not politicians, political leaders of European Union. Why? Because I know that exactly they could know who İlham Aliyev, and when this come to discuss it in this Parliament and Parliament Assembly of European Council, İlham Aliyev show as he starting again new investigation of Tartar, as they call it, Tartar case. But they are massacre. And only by İlham Aliyev order this can be happen and happening. İlham Aliyev not was aware 3,000 in army. Some incident in army, this alarm for them. And it doesn't, at least doesn't kill it by torture. And Ilham Aliyev not was aware, Ursula von der Leyen or Michel, shame on you, Michel. You try to downplay these crimes. Who you? If so, and who killed Daphne? Who ordered to kill Daphne Caruana Galizia? You all try also downplay. But our additional fact coming online, who Fennec? Fennec already as fact check. He give money to Teoma, and Teoma give this money for killers. Fennec. And who Fennec? Already we know. Ilham Aliyev, very close associate. Even in 2015, Baku European Games, we all say, I say, and others also said, this corrupt project, sport, this Thomas Bach and the European was some Olympic Committee, Irish, I think, Irish, very corrupt, corruption, money in pocket coming to this tribune and saying, this good Baku European Games, we're giving this openly, corruption, money laundering, openly, intention, open. So obvious all was. And now we have schemes, and it's not their all money, of course. But schemes have some money, 25 million, go to Pasha Bank from this Baku European Games or committee. Pasha Bank to Pilatus Bank. Who Pilatus Bank? Pilatus Bank owned by Ilham Aliyev. Ilham Aliyev and Circle, Kemaladin Eydarov. 60%, at least 60% of deposit of this bank, Ilham Aliyev and Kemaladin Eydarov. Means Ilham Aliyev. Means Pilatus Bank owned by Ilham Aliyev. And Yefimova confirmed that. Yefimov was employee of Pilatus Bank. And there was dual system, filing system, one legal, another illegal, and money laundering, even to, of course, to Joseph Muscat, daytime prime minister, today film Ergrant, and Daphne start reveal these facts, including Electra Gas, means SOCAR, Maltese Energy Unit, and they created the Electra Gas, and they putting Fennec, head of Electra Gas. And Daphne started revealing these facts. And to return to this scheme, Pasha Bank, this Ilham Aliyev wife bank, Mehriban Aliyev family, Pasha Bank, Pasha Holding. So Pasha Bank to Pilatus Bank, to Ilham Aliyev Bank in Malta. From there, go also to Funny to 17 Black. 17 Black is owned by Fennec, registered in United Arab Emirates. And from there to Muscat, to Chambly, to others. Bribe money. There's no bribe, this they cases. And this only one episode. And small one, 25 million. When there are 100 millions, billions. And Fenech already fact check. Give money to kill Daphne. And Ilham Aliyev did Tartar massacre. And Ilham Aliyev, before your very eyes, how was tortured Tawfik Yaqublu, one of political leaders, opposition leader. This photo was everywhere. I'll show too. This also Ilham Aliyev. Nobody will do that because scandal. Each serious thing in Azerbaijan, of course, ordered by Ilham Aliyev. This fact check. So, and there are other assassinations, but this other case. European Union and United States of America too, and Britain too, of course, very good know who Ilham Aliyev. Very corrupt, tyrann, dictator, killer, and he stole more than $100 billion. And many of them, this money go through Britain. And European Union for searching how to diversification from Putin gas pipeline, which Putin start or treating use as weapon, start using, go to Ilham Aliyev. When have other countries much more better and good. This Netherlands, there are others I should watch. As Poland take, look this one about Pilatus Bank. Pilatus money laundering case. Arrest warrants not yet served to bosses. There was arrest warrant by Maltese authority, and they not implement that. And Pilatus Bank, Ilham Aliyev Bank. About Norway and Netherlands. These countries can easily, as they did Poland, take additional gas from Norway, and the Netherlands too, and there are even possible other countries which have pipeline, Qatar, for example. Why they go to Ilham Aliyev? And I say you this additional, what I said. Ilham Aliyev fully belong to Putin more than Lukashenko. And they go to Ilham Aliyev. This thing as, how they acting and why this form they acting. Why they not finally and truly try to diversification from Putin structure. From one killing dictator go to another killing dictator. We'll have Norway, Netherlands, and this about urgency. And we go to clean energy, Green Deal, Ursula von der Leyen and Timmermans. Where you acting? Where your emergency? Even try put gas on green taxonomy, and you announce this not will change. What saying scientists and others, this no matter for you. And you will have very serious problem. And cost of that about money. You some case counting this money, but in true case, which should be and will devastatingly, you refuse count money. European Union. Why? And I call you to true diversification in urgency case, because this can happen immediately, and have Norway and Netherlands. Use that. United States also can participate in this case. Urgency, but same time you should start go to clean energy. Strategy plan should be that in this time already. But you deny that, refusing this, and go from as you go from Putin by coming to Putin structure. And who you have live. This should be matter. You can't deny, you can't here say something. You have others opportunity. And Poland show you that. So this should be stopped. This decision very wrong and bad to European Union. If United States back in this plan, go to Ilham Aliyev, this is very wrong, United States. Enough is enough. In one case, you're announcing you will fight corruption, money laundering, Joe Biden. You created that some unit in democracy summit, announce that. At the same time, you again go to very corrupt persons who, additional to the corruption, dictators. You announce you will fight democracy and go to dictators. Very wrong, very bad. And this should be stopped. I call European Union revise. They reverse their decision. No, you have a leave. And other cases. organization fighting corruption, OCCRP, revealed new report about Azerbaijan and Ilham Aliyev oil sector, oil and gas, energy sector. This one. Liquid docs distributing OCCRP. New. Liquid docs documents show widespread corruption in the expansion of the BP-run gas project on the Caspian Sea. Two Azerbaijani government firms contracted by the UK oil giant were set to siphon off $1.7 billion from the project, and they are threat. I'm reading this threat. BP expanded its operations in Azerbaijan section of the Caspian Sea to export more gas to EU via the Southern Gas Corridor. The $33 billion pipeline has been hailed by the US and EU as a key step in lessening the bloc's dependence on Russian energy. Why key? However, when you have other opportunities and who you have Aliyev, how you acting evil? Who pushing you? The decision was made. On what this was based? This decision go to Ilham Aliyev. Of course, very good known lobby schemes, big, easy money directed to pockets. Behind the decision, this you shall think who Ilham Aliyev. If you choose go worldwide, help and back democracies, fighting corruption, money launderings, you shall reject Ilham Aliyev and such others tyrannies, their energy, when you have other energy opportunity pipeline about gas, but this urgent. But generally, and now, as I said, you should go clean energy. You're refusing to do this so obvious things and go to corrupt person who dictator, killer, and additional, and saying this good choice. And this person fully belong to Putin. And you're saying this good choice. Why are you taking this decision? I said. BP expanded its operations in Azerbaijan section of the Caspian Sea to export more gas to EU via the Southern Gas Corridor. The $33 billion pipeline has been hailed by the US and EU and as a key step in lessening the bloc's dependence on Russian energy. But while BP publicly championed its growing presence in Azerbaijan, some company officials were concerned. Docs obtained by OCCRP showed that insiders were questioning inflated charges from the Azerbaijani state firms contracted to work on the Shah Deniz II development. Shah Deniz II is gas project, oil and gas. Prices of everything from food and coffee to fridges and printers were massively inflated. BP executives were repeatedly alerted to accusations of corruption but took no action, according to 3 people who worked on the project. The whistleblower even reported BP to the UK's Serious Fraud Office, but the agency said it needed more evidence to pursue an investigation. Russia report written by British Parliament. Very serious report. And Johnson said, this is not serious. Evil. They're betraying democracy. They're betraying rule of law. They're betraying anything because they interest. And they try fool by the distraction things. If Putin will do that, we will do that. And we will see if Putin will do that, and you will do that. Macron said, Schroeder said, Orban said, and others, Erdogan said, will. Oh boy. They refusing act when they recognizing how oligarchs so crucial for Putin's structure. British authority officials said that. But already Putin do anything and continue do. And they knew that by they in action, and they show position if Putin will invade Ukraine, will colossal. And coming to Ilham Aliyev. And Ilham Aliyev, who is one of concrete fact, but small part, but very serious fact. How Ilham Aliyev projects, pipelines, so corrupt as Putin energy pipelines, Nord Stream 2. But BP operations in the Caspian haven't just deprived Azerbaijan's public purse. Villagers living near the project say they are suffering from health problems due to gas flaring. Our story on the people paying the price of Shah Deniz II's success. If you have additional information about BP's operation in Azerbaijan or other project related to the Southern Gas Corridor, consider contacting OCCAP journalists using our secure drop service. We take your security seriously. This fresh BP British Petroleum. At the same time, British authority, Boris Johnson, there are others. They bold, they fighting corruption, they created, yes, this criminal agency. How they start act, all based mainly based on bluff. They are not true action, fight, corruption, malanderings coming from Putin structure and İlham Aliyev into Putin structure. And all their money. For example, during only 2 years, Azerilandıramadı. They are $3.9 billion. This İlham Aliyev. No serious action. About Putin, Abramovich, Usmanov, Deripaska, this Lebedev, others. Not even. If Putin will, if not, hey, fighters against corruption and laundering. If not, look at this graphic. Timothy Perrick. This about this both two top and both your top problems, deadly problems. Climate crisis and corruption and laundering means today's very corrupt, dark financial system. Okay. And these graphics. Timothy Perrick tweeting, 40 years of blah, blah, blah. Okay. Look at this red, dark red, you see. And here. Last year was writing here. Okay, last. This Paris Agreement, sign it. Paris Agreement, sign it. After that, what's happening? Rocketeering, sky rocketeering, continue, but even more. Paris Agreement, even more. This is true. Mainstream media, even more. But look at this media, listen these political leaders, listen them. Today. And look at this graphic. And the decisions, I said, in COP26, during COP26, giving license, go continue do your job. We hear blah, blah, greenwashing. They fool. And you go continue do your job. and therefore this graphic. This doing all political leaders, same position. Even opposite countries as United States and China in climate crisis show same position. Downplay, continue oil, gas, etc. In 2050, 2060, will come in, blah, blah, greenwash, blah, blah, again greenwash. Nicola Sturgeon, Scotland First Minister, very important. I will, yes, momentos. Here, this one also very. Greta Thunberg tweeting about EU taxonomy. I already said, again reading. The EU taxonomy today takes greenwashing to a completely new level. The people in power do not even pretend to care anymore. This is not satanic. This is not satanic. Say true and truth. This evil, satanic. But the European Union, civilization, one of developed, they are union of developed countries, democracy, country rule of law, and their position, they're acting satanic, evil, satanic. Now they are moving into uncharted greenwash territory. Very correct, Greta. Here, Mosque and Extinction Rebellion tweeted. The disaster is unfolding much faster as predicted. We need to stand up. The disaster, the scientists search, exploration, search, scientists. The disaster is unfolding much faster as predicted. Updated D7 forecast from forecast February 9 for tomorrow, even today, February 8. Long cold cycle ongoing and strong, but about to end, it seems. Arctic will see heat over immense area, incredible Antarctica heat all week. Weddell Sea on target this time. Heat endlessly attacking cryosphere. And there again graphics. Nicola Sturgeon. Britain's failure to tackle Russian dirty money has enabled Putin's aggression. Who will deny that? Putin, this action, aggression, based on what? On biggest money, creating some, giving money to military, to officials, to generals, herself taking money, more than $3 billion already. Is oligarchs, this scam the country, they really belong to this money. And this untouchable, for years I demanded act, fully ignoration. Okay, Trump was in White House, but others, countries, fully ignoration. For example, Britain, why not was that? So this key, you're not touching Putin's structure, Putin using his structure for achieve his goals. Restore Russian Empire. Where possible by Anschluss, they again biggest money than Anschluss to pockets. If this not enough, as in Ukraine case, by military intervention, as was in Georgia, in Ukraine, Crimea, Eastern region, etc. And you, after that, again refuse stop Putin structure. You continue even our days, which position show Germany, France, Macron, Orban, and you will see this how this Putin structure will. Okay, I'm reading. If Boris Johnson is serious about helping Ukraine, the most resolute action he can take as at home. To the prospect of war in our continent is more than enough to avert our gaze from latest with Whitehall troubles. However, a prime minister who has found it so hard to speak the truth throughout his career surprised us all with a hard dose of it when he stood before Parliament last week to address the situation in Ukraine, saying, Ukraine asks for nothing except to be allowed to live in peace and to seek her own alliances as every sovereign country has a right to do. It was a sentiment echoed by the leader of the opposition, by my own party's Westminster Group leader, Ian Blackford, Member of Parliament, and by every other SNP Member of Parliament who responded to the statement. As someone who has spent my life campaigning for the sovereign right of the people of Scotland to determine our own future, sovereignty is a principle fundamental to my own worldview, of course. To see such pressures being exerted on a state that has resolutely set itself on a path to integration with the liberal democratic order is unspeakable. Unspeakable, yeah. Like any European country, Ukraine must be free to organize its governance and security alliances as it sees fit. A Europe split into 19th century spheres of influence is not one in which small independent countries would prosper. The better and more equal the nations of Europe become, the more equitable the relations between them should be. Indeed, the great steps that the likes of Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania have taken in the past 30 years are testament to the invigorating effects of independence in Europe. However, my agreement with the Prime Minister on these principles did not last long. Question after question from the floor of the House of Commons brought him back to the issue of Russian funding in the Conservative Party and the continuing existence of London-Grad-style influence operations in the UK. Meanwhile, as long as the fortunes of Russia's elites are based abroad, threats of economic sanctions are limp and ineffective. It has been 2.5 years since the publication of Parliament Russia report, which laid bare the extent of links between the Kremlin and Russian-backed financial interests, and the resulting endless flow of illicit cash through City of London. The United Kingdom allies are beginning to take note of interactability of the problem. A report from the Center for American Progress, a think tank close to the Biden administration, stated last week that uprooting Kremlin-linked oligarchs will be a challenge given the close ties between Russian money and the United Kingdom's ruling Conservative Party, the press, and its real estate and financial industry. After all, clear mechanisms to crack down on these practices exist. My government has long called for Westminster to legislate on the improper use of Scottish limited partnership, just one favorite instrument of financial exploitation, to ensure that they are no longer used to facilitate the sort of financial corruption that has benefited authoritarians and their wealthy cronies for far too long. Corruption and lack of transparency are drag on liberal democracy, and authoritarians have become adept at using these scandals as a way of saying to people ground down by them that all forms of government are the same and all politicians are as bad as each other. And so I can only call on the Prime Minister to finally take action. He must recognize that his government and his party have enabled this situation, and he must acknowledge that the most resolute action he can take is at home to rebuild his government tattered reputation. The author and journalist Oliver Barlow from his book Moneyland, which documented so much about the London laundromat. Quote, without trust, liberal democracy cannot function. Close quote. And as Barlow wrote more recently about the situation in Ukraine, quote, "No one is more to blame than us for the fact that Russia's richest can treat war like a spectator sport." Close quote. Very correct for them this. And while during such periods the temptation is to focus on individuals in power, this can lead us to forget the role of the competing factions within the Russian security state and the pressures they are exerting on the situation, and it may lead some to forget the pressure this is putting on 14 million Ukrainians, our fellow European citizens, as they go about their daily lives. This article from Guardian, date February 1st, 2022. Okay? In some ways, this is reality money have been dealing with since 2014, especially those in Russian-occupied eastern Ukraine. As we deal with the effect of our own cost of living crisis, living crisis, with a spike in food and energy prices, it is worth remembering that Ukrainians have been facing this for some time, and as a direct consequence of Russian government's actions. So, while Ukrainians must and will defend themselves from aggression if attempts at diplomacy fail, we cannot be blind to the circumstances that have led to the current crisis, and that include the situation where wealth with direct links to the Putin regime has been allowed to proliferate here in the UK, with often the scantest regard paid to its provenance or to the influence it seeks to exert on our democracy. Nicola Sturgeon is First Minister of Scotland, soon will Prime Minister of Scotland, because we all very strongly will back Scottish independence, and leader of Scottish National Party. This very important article shows how truly UK authority, truly active. They continue play, as in COP26, announcing Ukraine we will have sending there some weapons, which of course not enough. Doing something. COP26, doing something, and this of course not enough. You're not truly acting. 26, COP26. You're not saying here direct link. No good. At same time, giving license to big oil and gas. Same in this case. If you will intervene, we will do. And same time, Putin continue using his money pipeline drills, taking money itself, its military generals, its officials, oligarchs, all. And Putin very good with that. You're giving very, very important for Putin opportunity to maneuver. for achieve his goals, restore Russian Empire by hybrid forum. Anschluss of Belarus, Kazakhstan in Azerbaijan processing with others Anschluss and interventions too in Central Asia. You will say there's no European countries. Another green light to Putin, fascist Putin expansion. I think that already this is so obvious. Orban, Erdogan already showed themselves. And now Macron, there, Schröder, Germany, they will, in some point, if you come, you will see, again I said, how Article 5 will broke even. Even, seeing that. And one of main goal of Putin for restore his empire, he, of course, very good understand, he should do weak NATO. How? Article 5. How several countries will refuse participate. So Article 5 not will work means NATO as alliance will not longer exist. This not means United States and other countries who have bold position, they can come together and organize another unit. But this will be different. But NATO already not will have exist. For years, at least last 3 years, I think about putting Trojan horses into NATO. Full ignorance. And now playing this game, and men there, you're not touching Putin structure. You're doing maneuver for help Putin. What Macron visit, what means? Help Putin, help Putin. Not Ukraine, Putin. Macron try help Putin. Not Ukraine, not NATO, not European Union. He try help Putin on his plan structure. Hey, Ukraine, hello, Putin plan. Another. After Crimea, Eastern region, now additional. Allow this region, give them veto right into Ukrainian decisions, etc. Putin using this so-called Minsk, Normandy and Minsk case for destroy Ukraine sovereignty from inside. This totally, from outside and inside. Therefore, Ukrainian authority, when finally understand that, they said this never will happen. But Macron again coming to Zelensky, Kuleba, and saying, accept that, if not, Putin will intervene. Pressure on them. Helping Putin. An election coming in France. Election coming in Hungary. Election coming in Turkey. Erdogan was in Sochi. Orban visit, Macron visit. What do you think? Putin have all this opportunity or not? Putin one time attack and say, hey, this already no need. Go. Yes, he not will intervene elections. He even intervened 2020 election, midterm, United States 18, 2020, even Putin, together with Trump, do coup attempt against United States of America. He have United States Electron Shield Code and this entire NATO code, entire NATO countries code too, plus minus, based on same standard. And we have an easily hacking Britain, Germany, when needed, any other European Union country, including France, which he did in previous election. And now more. And Macron, Merkel, Schröder, in Austria was, and it's Berlusconi, Italy. Macron coming election, and they very need Putin help. Orban very need Putin help in coming election in Hungary. About Erdogan already I said. This actually truly this happened. If France authority view means concrete, the state institution should be a democratic country rule of law, they should take this case very seriously. There should be truly free and fair elections. In Hungary too, in Turkey too. Otherwise, wait, put intervention for help Trump put into White House. Same, plus minus. Who they and why? And these links, direct links, their interest, collapsing offshores. And they already destroying, damaging, devastatingly destroying this country's, NATO member countries' national security system. United States, Germany, Italy, France, Austria, Spain, Netherlands, others. About Greece, Malta, already I know saying, Cyprus. Current financial system, very corrupt, and this system ruled world. Undeniable. And not yet, not taking action. For example, stop Putin structure. No blah blah. Do your duty. Countries rule of law. United States, the FBI, NSA, CIA in Britain, M6, M5. In France and Germany have two. Some article was about Schröder. I read, laughing, very weak article. They show as they try show how Schröder and Putin create influence on Germany. But actually, there was mainly blah blah. Because main cases not touched. Gazprom coming to this Pomerania, where from Baltic State this Nord Stream pipeline go to ground in Germany. They are putting money on festivals, on sport events, on influence. Why they try fool German people and entire Europe, maybe world? This nothing, this nothing, this not influence, this not. And Schroeder associate some position, again nothing there. When truly happened, what? Money laundering pipeline. How Schroeder? Yeah, Putin, Schroeder. Nord Stream second pipeline cost 16 billion, okay, or 11. Half of this money in pockets. Do your duty, German state institutions, whose duty investigate such crimes. Why you reject and do that? And starting blah blah about some by legal money they was sponsored. Festival, sport events is legal, okay? And this influence doing Germany so belong to Putin. You fool, you who think that they can fool people. You're doing that, therefore, this article attempt for fool people. There is something also writing about Matthias Warning as Schroeder associate. But Matthias Warning, this long time Putin friend from Eastern Germany time, when Putin was KGB major, was working in Eastern Germany. And Matthias Warning was Stasi officer. And there, in their time, in Soviet Union time, some crimes, bribe, from Eastern Germany, tape, or yes, their time, this all was very deficit for Soviet Union. Means this text. So, and further, when Putin come to deputy major of St. Petersburg, already in Russia, or the Soviet Union not longer exists, and Sobchak was mayor of Petersburg, and Putin was his deputy, and Putin crimes in Petersburg. He created one gang. There was mafia groups, Tambov groups, Kumarin head. This is all very documented fact check. Very documented fact check. About that said, there are some person who was into that, Jewish citizen now. Sorry, I not recall his name. Navalny also was said about that, and others too. Very well documented. How Putin crimes, how Putin did his crimes, big money, start do his big money when he was deputy of mayor in St. Petersburg. Of course, he gave money to Sobchak too. And in one of case, he also create ties with Colombia Gully narco barons. Gully. And this narco cocaine come to St. Peter, again, all well documented, come to St. Petersburg in some forum, of course, hidden forum, in ships. After that was putting some concrete forum and sending to Europe under Putin and Tambov group control. And Petersburg port, seaport was under their control. Sobchak, Putin, they mean, Kumarin, Tambov mafia. So, and for do that, Putin create some film, call it SPAC. In German, maybe this called SPAC. He registered this film in Luxembourg, but head of this SPAC, Putin put Matthias Warning in 1990s. And this SPAC job was narco traffic into Europe. Undeniable, this well documented. In Germany, some prosecutor start investigate this SPAC. German authority already for Schröder, later Merkel, all both block it. Finally Merkel, no touch. And this prosecutor agreed. Why agreed? Their versions. Money or good job, additional, or treat by all these versions. But this prosecutor stopped investigation. And this article about Gazprom giving legal money for behind these festivals, sport events, how they try show their very huge crimes. Again, Nord Stream 2 pipeline, 50% of this money in pockets. And same person, Matthias Warning, head of Nord Stream 2 operation firm, registered in Switzerland. All naive, no understand, no seeing here something, but they are obviously huge concreticos. This doing, they enablers of Putin, Schröder and co, now Macron and others, they enablers of fascist Putin. Why? Because big easy money and aggressive blackmail, if needed. Also, Putin opportunity additional. And they're using what possible. They try act for hidden form, of course, for distract, mistract. But when we come in to concreticos, we will see this true, and this should be end. This should be stopped now. Putin behind Q-Atom in United States. Trump crimes already undeniable, but Department of Justice, continue, deny, ignore these facts. Trump directed this coup. Not only insurrections, the Department of Justice, Clark, this Clark, two, this about immunity to Clark. This very, very bad idea, this investigative committee of House of Representatives who investigated January 6 coup attempt. You will give immunity to Clark, who one of key person on this coup attempt. How you can? And Department of Justice already finally should prosecute them, indict them. Trump, Flynn, Clark, Stone, Bannon, Giuliani, Manafort, senators, representatives. This is about United States of America. Their existence. Because such crimes not will go away if you not will stop them, if you not will do cleanup by rule of law. And they even increasing, they attack. Look at Trump and associates. And again, Putin there too. And now another. Israel Authority. This Israel state, this apartheid state. This is undeniable. A State Department of United States of America and other countries who have same position have concrete norm, criteria, net price, criteria, okay? About apartheid, what means apartheid? Have concrete criteria, Anthony Blinken. Apartheid is apartheid. And B'Tselem, very respectful non-government organization in Israel, later own report, investigation report by Human Rights Watch, and now Amnesty International own report and investigation show in fact check, Israel is apartheid state. What they're using and acting against Palestinians, this apartheid. About massacre, I'm not saying even, but this very crimes against humanity and this investigated in International Criminal Court, these war crimes, crimes against humanity, massacre by Israel authority against Palestinians, and their Hamas case too. They also did crimes, war crimes. International Criminal Court will review that. But about apartheid state. And how Anthony Blinken can, or his spokesman, Ned Price, said, this not, this words, they even not using this terminology, not even accepting the terminology, even absolutely rejecting means that. Why? On what your disposition based? State Department. Anthony Blinken, you Secretary of State of United States of America. And very good if you will act particular Jewish nationality of United States is so important for justice, for push Israel authority. Hey, stop that. Go on democratic way. Palestinians have their rights on their land, and only Palestinians have this right on their land. Their United Nations resolutions about Israel authority cracking down on these resolutions, on spitting on them, even attacking United Nations, attacking United States was that. Attacking why? You allow all that. And massacre is massacre, and apartheid is apartheid. They as second kind persons, but they human beings. They even not have elementary rights, go use their rights, second, even third kind, maybe. This is even bad, which was in South Africa. Why I saying that? Because time matter. There was 1980s late, okay, when we early 1990s, when we end apartheid in South Africa. Look, 30 years. This no matter. And same. Killing and even no response. This fresh, additional fact. Jewish Israel means military person who now retired, saying he was into that. Some his colleagues killed without need Palestinian, and absolutely nothing. Even not was their investigation, serious investigation. He killed people and walking in comfort. Devastating facts of apartheid existed in Israel. Their land, they created on their land, Palestinian land, they and Palestinian authority who had Mahmoud Abbas, they right, they decision, not Israel authority. This Palestinian Republic authority, state authority, their rights choose. Palestinian can build building in concrete region in West Bank or not, because this Palestinian land. But again, Israel military force coming with bulldozers and live ammunitions, bullets to no watching this summertime, wintertime. Their children look at these videos, cracking down this home when they say they will you taking their home where they will live, and they in their own land in Palestine, West Bank, this Palestinian land. Same in Eastern Jerusalem, cracking down these people again, Palestinians sitting on this, yes, this destroyed home, crying as normal. And the additional plan of Israel authority, buildings, increasing settlements, and settlement all secured, all because Palestinian, all terrorists. By day in Palestinian territory, the settlement in Palestinian territory. If some Palestinian coming near Pif Paf or some protest doing because they land, each nation will protest. Each nation will try protect their land. By they how protecting, they not guns, not even military, not nothing. All taken from Palestinians. And settlement by military forces, and they even Palestinian youth, school students. How many they was killed by Israel militaries? Even Israel military giving this gun machine to settlements. If yes, learning them as exercise, and how we have video of that, how they open fire, even killing these settlements, Israel Jewish nationalities in Palestinian land by Israel military force help. They taking ammunition, this machine gun, and open fire on Palestinians who some protest doing or other things. They land killing. This settlement attacking Palestinians' home in Palestinian land. We're also seeing this video, beating them, cracking them, and they again seeing militaries in uniform. Israeli attacking home of Palestinian family there, family. You go away. This is our place. I will come to here. You go away. Beating them, cracking by military officers. And immediately go away. But this video show all this, and Palestinians in their land, in their home, beating, treating. There no court, no nothing for protect their rights. Nothing. A Palestinian coming. And maybe, maybe have gun or bomb, pif paf. How many Palestinians was killed? Innocent. This norm, this laws, as Palestinian second kind, killing them, no watching woman or man, young woman, go stop, no stopping, or something unsuspicious, maybe bomb, pif paf, again killing. I seen this video. She was innocent. She would go, I think, go to school, maybe. What was that? She was killed. Why? Because Israel authority decide they killing massacre after massacre Palestinians, they taking their authority, they resisting, sometimes including using this bomb, exploding. Therefore, we should act against all Palestinians by this norm. No searching, no using some preventive measures. We should be, because Palestinian human beings should be preventive measures, but not immediately by ballot, live ballot, and killing. These two, this law and norm, law. And now watch why this is happening. And I say only small part. In this report of Human Rights Watch, now Amnesty International, plenty fact check, and again apartheid means this concrete criteria. What means apartheid? Amnesty International tweeting, our official new report looks at the decades-long suffering of Palestinians under Israel rule. We have concluded that Israel's treatment of Palestinians throughout Israel and the occupied Palestinian territories amounts to apartheid. Read for yourself. And there I take some concrete quote from Amnesty International head Agnes Callamard. But starting from this Amnesty International report, for start, Israel apartheid against Palestinians, a cruel system of domination and a crime against humanity. Israeli authorities must be held accountable for committing the crime of apartheid against Palestinians, Amnesty International said today in a damning new report. The investigation details how Israel enforces a system of oppression and domination against the Palestinian people wherever it has control over their rights. This includes Palestinians living in Israel and the occupied Palestinian territories, as well as displaced refugees in other countries. And Agnes Callamard quotes from this report. Our report revealed the true extent of Israel's apartheid regime, whether they live in Gaza, East Jerusalem, and the rest of the West Bank, or Israel itself. Palestinians are treated as an inferior racial group and systematically deprived by their rights. You found that Israel's cruel policies of segregation, dispossession, and exclusion across all territories under its control clearly amount to apartheid. The international community has an obligation to act. For Palestinians, the difficulty of traveling within and in and out of the occupied Palestinian territories is a constant reminder of their powerlessness. Their every move is subject to the Israeli military approval, and the simplest daily task means navigating a web of violent control. The international response to apartheid must no longer be limited to bland condemnations and equivocating. Unless we tackle their root causes, Palestinians and Israelis will remain locked in the circle of violence which has destroyed so many lives. And here, Agnes Callamard video. First here tweet was from Middle East Eye, quote from her. I dare the United States to engage with the legal scholarship, close quote. In an upcoming interview with Middle East Eye, the Secretary General of Amnesty International, Agnes Callamard, slammed the U.S. condemnation of Amnesty over its report labeling Israel an apartheid state. And here, video, please watch.
I dare the United States to engage with the legal scholarship, to engage with the evidence, and to say, oh, no, don't worry.
Sorry. From start again.
I dare the United States to engage with the legal scholarship, to engage with the evidence, and to say, oh, no, don't worry, there is no apartheid. I dare them to do that.
We reject the view that Israel's actions constitute apartheid. The department's own reports have never used such terminology.
The way it was put forward sounded far more propaganda and ideological than evidence-based and grounded on a thorough legal understanding of what apartheid constitutes. Read the report, and if you don't want to read that particular report, read other reports. But at the very least, look at the evidence, look at the legal standards, come up with a thorough, well-demonstrated, well-argued position as to why it is not apartheid. Have you done an assessment, is my question? Have you considered what is the meaning of apartheid under international law? Have you even tried to check whether the behaviors, the policies, the laws, the practices of Israel meet that definition? No, they just...
Civilization of planet Earth. And such thing happening, mainstream media trying downplay this devastating fact of crime against humanity, means apartheid, by Israel state, means authority, and United States try deny that, baseless, by their baseless position. You know? And same time, United States try to show themselves to world. They're fighting for justice, democracy, fighting corruption. And own country on the threat was their coup attempt and continuation of that. This directly have link because this, this system, Israel after doing that, United States ignoring these crimes, continue to call Israel as one of main ally. Nobody, means me and others, we're not against if United States and Israel truly ally. But I know exactly this not. But Israel, United States job, the investigative institution, Department of Justice and others, FBI, their job, review this fact, how Israel even was attacked the United States. Authority. What I'm saying this about Israel authority, state. Netanyahu and co, continuation of that now. And when you will do that, Israel truly will come as truly democratic state, modern state, civilized state, who respect international law, norm, creating, respecting their neighbors, Palestinians. This very good ally for United States, Israel. This Israel, what I said. And of course, I believe in Israel people, they will join me for finally rejecting this ultra-nationalism policy of apartheid, of country authority. Should be that. There are no future by apartheid, no future for Israel. Absolutely correct. Fascism, apartheid, not a future. Never was, and not will. So, this position of United States, based on fact, should call fact as fact. Israel is apartheid state, and act, use measures for change this policy of Israel authority. United States can do that. And it's very United States national interest too. Again, this Israel, democratic Israel, Israel who respecting international law and norm, this ally, very good ally for Israel, for United States. This United States national interest have such ally. And do that, United States have opportunity do that using United Nations Security Council instruments to opportunity to, as Obama tried did, stop the settlements, this Palestinian territory, recognize Palestinian state, United States, open their embassy, create diplomatic ties with Palestinians, help Palestinians create their infrastructure, their state. All nations around the world, particularly developed countries, should do that, should stand with Palestinian state, Palestinian people, and help them. Time for that. I say, They, of course, measures have sanctions needed, use sanctions against Israel criminals or authority when we have this fact. International law norm. You can't ignore that. Demand who was behind this apartheid act, no matter who in Israel officials. Use against them Magnitsky Act of Bill Browder. I hope Bill Browder will join to my call. Not? If not, no good. And here, about Ilham Aliyev money into United States. To Casey Mitchell, the rate of Representative Henry Quella shows just how deep Azerbaijan tendrils of illicit lobbying still reach in the United States, means Ilham Aliyev. And in Britain, much more, but in the United States too. Azerbaijan has spent years launching illicit lobbying campaigns across the West and not just targeting politicians. And there is a strong argument they have been most successful in the US on both sides of the aisle. Allowing foreign powers to meddle in America without serious consequences is the new dangerous normal, continued Casey Mitchell. This is about Saudi Arabia, Mohammed bin Salman, Al-Sisi of Egypt, and United Arab Emirates, Crown Prince. I already said that, how they targeted in United States soil their opponents, attacking them, treating them, arresting them, kidnapping them, try to do that. This is Daphne, killed by Ilham Aliyev order and money, by Joseph Muscat knowledge and co. And international Transparency International Corruption Perceptions Index of 2021. Very important report. I welcome this report. And this report shows how truly this evil satanic system in world, financial system, how countries under this system operating means these individuals to they're about their lives, their family, no matter developed countries or poor. Of course, there are huge gap. Of course, there are different problems, but problems in developed countries, people continually live under this threat, under these injustices. Look at the United States, Britain, European Union, in some countries, particular coming online again and again. And talking about poor countries, even So inhumane, these facts. And this all because existed and current financial system so corrupt, so dark, and dark they using all day corruption money laundering schemes by shell companies, and all men, absolute majority go through the developed countries who by their leaders and also they fighting have bold position fight corruption. But continuation of that, Britain, one of world center or money laundering center. Same already United States, neighbor country, no far neighbor Canada, in European Union, already about Malta, Cyprus, I said. There, what's happening in Italy, in Germany, in France, in Spain, in Britain, in Netherlands, huge scale. In Denmark, Danske Bank means not only Deutsche Bank. They branches in Baltic states and continuation of that. And I call organization whose job fight corruption and laundering come together and also coordinate your action with organizations who fighting climate crisis, because these both same origin have, same origin is undeniable. Therefore, act and coordinate to form as one team. Again, best way if we replacing, and we should and we shall and will replace today's financial system by transparent financial system. We will do that. And best way before first we're doing that, doing financial system transparency, all bank operations operating transparently, and others operations too, including cryptocurrencies. And when we will do that, corruption and laundering, of course, no longer will exist. They, in dark, operating lobby schemes, not will longer exist. Dark money in politics, I already said. So they can't hiddenly operate against our true fight against climate crisis for stop climate crisis. This is best, but, and this devastating fact, devastating, we not have this opportunity. Already we lost this opportunity because climate crisis crossed the red line. Therefore, we should do both same time. Main goal, both, but climate crisis is not about some clubs in offshore where we can come now or tomorrow. Climate crisis is about physics, about planet Earth. And you're not able by your own wish stop this climate crisis, which deadly, again, can kill you and will kill you, humanity, if you not to stop climate crisis. I say, Here already we not have more time, but about fact, this international OPCW, Elliot Higgins, head of Bellingcat, tweeted that this international chemical organizations already confirm fact of using by Assad regime chemical weapons against civilians, children, civilians, and killing them. Also, their fact reveal how Putin knowingly, Putin pilots, military, attacking hospitals where civilians were treated in Aleppo and others region too. And these crimes, when you try ignore, this crime not go away. And this person who these crimes, they not go away as Putin and Ilham Aliyev. They will continue to use the opportunity when you still giving them this opportunity. So obvious. For stop Putin, I said, and saying again, what you should do for prevent Putin intervention to Ukraine. In this case too, you should sanctions Putin structure for stop Putin structure now and finally. Okay, today this. I am Chinghiz together with you, Earth people.